Top 10 countries with humongous oil reserves. About 300 years ago, dead organic minerals such as zooplankton and algae built up on the bottom of lakes and oceans in conditions where they couldn't decompose. The organic matter that changed into kerogen, which eventually turned into oil through heat and pressure. Today, oil is the livelihood of many economies. The world derives of over a third of its total energy production from oil, more than any other source by far. As a result, the countries that control the world's oil reserves often have disproportionate geopolitical and economic power. The ability to extract and export oil is an incredibly bargaining chip. It can form bonds as well as destroy some. Today we look at 10 countries with the world's largest oil reserves. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification to get update on new content. Number 10, Libya, 48.4 billion barrels per year. The largest oil fields and greatest reserves of Africa are in Libya. Experts suggest that there are many more oil reserves that have yet to be discovered because of the sanctions against foreign oil companies and internal political instability. It is widely known and very well documented that Libya has been struggling due to civil war. Due to conflict, Libya has hardly been able to expand its oil production capabilities. Oil has still been amounted to 98% of the government's revenue recently, and it is likely to grow. Number 9, the United States of America, 48.5 billion barrels per year. The USA has managed to find new levels of success in the past few years, likely due to their new and innovative techniques in drilling for oil. Horizontal drilling has been very effective, while somewhat controversial fracking is undoubtedly an extremely effective approach that has tapped into previous inaccessible sources of oil. These advances have enabled the extraction from plentiful reserves of oil and shale. Number 8, the United Arab Emirates, 98.7 billion barrels per year. Statistics indicate that oil and gas account for around 40% of the national GDP, which caused the country to modernize and create a high standard of living since the reserves were originally discovered in 1958. The Arabian Peninsula and the surrounding area is renowned for their wealth of oil and gas reserves. The United Arab Emirates, Zakum's field produces a disproportionately large amount of oil. Number 7, Kuwait, 101.5 billion barrels per year. Kuwait is another smaller yet fertile oil producing nation around the Persian Gulf. The past few decades have been chaotic in Kuwait due to the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, followed by the Iraq invasion and annexion of Kuwait in the 1990s, and finally the Persian Gulf War, in which the US-led coalition sought to remove the crushing Iraq occupation. After Kuwait regained its independence, it slowly rose back to the top of the highest oil-producing nation. Number 6, Russia, 103.2 billion barrels per year. Russia has numerous natural resources for energy, but notably the massive oil reserve in Serbia. The decline of the Soviet Union caused a lapse in oil production, but they have improved recently as the country made an effort to revamp its efficiency. There are still potentially bountiful sources in the Arctic region of Russia that have yet to be used. Number 5, Iraq, 150 billion barrels per year. Iraq has some of the world's largest reserves of oil. Iraq has, however, been drowned in a lot of conflicts in the past. These conflicts crippled the entire oil production industry in the country for quite some time, preventing them from accomplishing very much. However, even the rather antiquated 2D readings of Iraq's oil reserve prove that they have a lot to offer in terms of oil. Luckily, the past few years have brought considerable improvement and helped stabilize the country. Number 4, Iran, 157.8 billion barrels per year. Iran is yet another oil-rich Middle Eastern country, manufacturing nearly 1.5 million barrels per year. They have some of the world's most accessible reserves, which allows them to extract oil quickly and efficiently. Iran's oil reserve was first found in 1905. Even after more than a century of production, they still haven't depleted their resources. Almost 150 hydrocarbon fields are located in Iran, and they contain both oil and natural gases. Number 3, Canada, 172.9 billion barrels per year. Canada leads the North American nation in terms of oil production. A significant portion of their sources is in oil sands deposits in Alberta. Extracting from the oil sand isn't an easy or fast forward as drilling in the more common types of oil fields. So Canada's oil production is rather sporadic compared to other nations, in which extracting is relatively straightforward and the production is steady. Canadian companies typically prioritize drilling for low density and high value oil. Despite the cumbersome and tedious nature of oil production, they're still one of the world's most oil affiliate countries. Number 2, Saudi Arabia, 267 billion barrels per year. People around the world know of the incredible wealthy Czechs with their gold-plated and enormous yachts, as well as the role of oil in Saudi Arabia's position in geopolitics. While many might be surprised to learn that Saudi Arabia no longer holds the top position in the oil production, they remain second place by substantial margins. Much of the oil in Saudi Arabia can be accessed and extracted with ease in their massive oil fields. Number 1, Venezuela, 298.3 billion barrels per year. Over the past decades, Venezuela has capitalized on the massive oil reserves as it deposits and climbed its way to the top of the world's oil-producing nation. The greatest oil assets in Venezuela is in Orinoco tar sands. They are less vicious than the sands in Canada. This means that they can be drilled and extracted by traditional means, so production is much more consistent and continuous. Venezuela is something of a newcomer to the oil game, but it certainly seems like they're in the hierarchy to stay. That's about it. The top 10 producers of oil in the world. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do not forget to like and share with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification to get alert on new content. Your thoughts and comments are welcomed in the comment section.